weight loss is a battle that a lot of people can identify with, but there are truths and, of course, untruths about weight loss. And of course, these things are going on out there. People are, taking on new diets every single day. Now, joining us to debunk some of these myths surrounding weight loss is Chris Ero. Now, she is the convener and CEO of Well Baby, an organization that is concerned with the wellness of the home and society at large. She's also a wellness expert, and she's perfect to talk about our topic this morning. Hi, Chris. How you doing?
Hi, Yomi. I'm doing
Looking
great.
well, looking nice. So, let's go straight to some of these myths that people experience about weight loss. So weight loss is actually a serious concern that many people have.
Yeah.
And so just like when anybody has a serious concern, they go looking for help. But a lot of the things that people actually encounter on a daily basis are myths. So can we talk about some of these myths? For instance, let's start with the most common myths that we've always known since the 80s. Going to the gym or working out or jogging helps you lose weight. Does it?
It's when you take it out, when you say it like that, it doesn't really, right? Because when you're doing wellness, it's not just one thing that makes you well. It's a combination of so many things that you do. Now, when you go into the gym for 1 hour, scientists have actually proven that it's easier for you to lose weight when you focus on intense workouts for 15 to 30 minutes. Yeah. You have people who actually practically live in the gym. 1 hour, they do strength training, they do endurance training, they do all that stuff, right? It actually does not help you lose weight, which is funny because it's counterproductive. Now, what such people do is they tend to forget that their diet actually matters. You're doing the weight, you're in the gym, you're working out, you're not eating right, you're practically not doing anything, really. Wow. Have you not noticed people who go to the gym all the time and you see them, they just look the same?
Yeah, I've seen people like that, especially people who, in my estate, I see a lot of people who jog every morning.
The challenge a lot of people face when it comes to issues of weight loss is that they tend towards fad. Right? Whatever it is that is reigning at that particular point, everyone jumps at it. Yeah. But when it comes to weight loss, it's a very individual exercise. It's a very individual process. Yeah.
Let's talk about fads, because that's the next myth that I wanted to go into. Talking about diets, a lot of people feel one size fits all. No. So suddenly there's a new diet in town and everybody's jumping at it, and everybody say, oh, I'm on a keto diet, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So is it going on a diet, is that a myth, or is not a myth?
I personally am not a fan of diets. I'm not a fan of dieting, basically because the way diets are being run now is you need to forego a particular type of food. Yeah. All right, and it doesn't make sense because every single type of food has a purpose in your body. Now, there's a very popular one that tells you do not eat carbs at all, right? That's the keto. They tell you not to eat carbs. You focus mostly on cabbages. You focus mostly on cabbages. You were taking swallow, you're using cabbages, because cabbage, of course, is a type of carbohydrates, but it's light carbohydrates. But what they are failing to realize is you're depriving your body of that basic ingredient, right, that you need for your metabolism. And yet you're telling people to go ahead and exercise. You're telling people to go ahead, go to the gym, do your walks, do your, cardios and stuff like that. Of course, a lot
of people complain about lethargy and all of that.
But without the energy. So what happens is, because what you're supposed to be burning when you're doing the exercises, when you're working out, is fat, all right? And then the carbohydrates actually help you with the fat. But when you, and that's another thing, because people don't eat fat. They tell you that, okay, don't eat fat at all, because when you eat fat, you pile up, which is not true. A lot of people might not believe that, but it's not true. Now, when you do not take carbohydrates, when you do not take fat, what your body now does is it breaks down your protein.
Right.
All right? So it breaks down your protein. It now becomes a very counterproductive activity that you're participating in.
I've seen people who are on that diet and then they experience, some of them say that they experience weakness, general body weakness.
General body weakness, they have joint pains.
Exactly, some of them feel sick.
Some people have actually, their back, they have problems, there and there, because they focus on the wrong things. Right. Now, with weight loss, when you're dieting, when you're dieting, it's not about not eating a particular meal. It's about eating everything. I tell people, when you're losing weight, you can actually eat what you want to eat. You can, what you love eating. I tell my clients that what you love eating, eat it. But eat it with wisdom. Eat it from a position of, I love myself, all right?
Well, we'll come to some of these solutions that you're talking about, especially with regards to what you eat and how you eat it. But one myth that you of course, usually hear is children don't need to lose weight.
And
is
that's
that
funny.
a myth?
That's funny. We recently had this focus on children, childhood obesity, right? And nobody believed for a second that there was such a case, which is very strange because silently, obesity is creeping up on us, right? If you notice, there are more and more children who are piling up the pounds, right? They're becoming more sedentary. They watch TV, they're on the devices, right? And they eat processed food, they eat junk food. And that's because of the parents. Parents have become more busy, and then they are relegating their duties to whoever, and then they just go for the shortcuts. All right, okay, oh, you're okay, fine. Just go get yourself a burger or get yourself some, some snacks or whatever the case may be, without thinking of the child's health. So
are you supposed to control your child's portion? Then?
You have to control your child's portion.
All right, so let's talk about So let's talk about weight loss as a regimen now, a lifestyle. What are you supposed to do on a daily basis to ensure that you lose weight consistently?
What you need to do on a daily basis is ensure that you watch the portions of what you eat. Now, it's been proven that the less carbohydrates you take, the more protein you need to make up for the, for the vacuum. Now, what the protein does is it gives you a feeling of fullness without actually giving you weight, without actually adding to the fat, unlike carbohydrate, because carbohydrate is broken down to starch, and we all know what starch does to the body. It even spikes up your insulin, which you don't need. And we also know that insulin helps, insulin helps with weight increase, and you don't need that at all. So what you need to do is, you're in the process of losing weight now. What you need to do is look at what you eat. 80%, 60% actually, 60% protein, 20% fat, and then 20% carbohydrates. What that means is have more, proteins. I mean, and they are so easily affordable. You can find them everywhere. You have beans, you have different types of meat. People think that you cannot eat red meat if you want to lose weight, but that's another myth. You can actually eat red meat, but pair it with healthier kinds of meat, And another reason why we tell people that do not deprive yourself of what you like is this: when you're eating and you're not enjoying what you're eating, right? You're not enjoying what you're eating. You find that it's easier for you to fall off the wagon.
Right. Thank you so much, Chris. I mean, this is a conversation that I know we should continue on social media. So if people want to get in touch with you, that's at Chris Ero.
Yeah, at Chris Ero Wellness Junkie. That's on Instagram, and then Twitter at KRSIam.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this
morning. Thank you so much for having me.